Cheating wife brought her lover to the house. What he did next crumbled her. He'll never find out, Travis. Caleb's always traveling for business. Those were the last confident words Janelle Hunter whispered to her lover before he moved into her marital home like he owned it. She thought she had the perfect setup, bringing her affair partner to the house while her trusting husband built their fortune on the road, but had no idea that the cybersecurity genius she married had already turned their home into a digital trap that would capture every kiss, every lie, every moment of betrayal. What happened next will make you question everything you think you know about marriage, love, betrayal, revenge, karma, and the price of deception. Viewers, what will you do if your wife brought her lover to your house? Drop your thought below. Sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's dive into this story of betrayal and revenge. The morning sun painted the Hunter family's two-story brick home in golden hues, casting long shadows across their perfectly manicured lawn in one of Houston's most sought-after suburban neighborhoods. From the outside, everything looked picture-perfect, the kind of American dream that real estate agents use in their marketing materials. The white picket fence, the two-car garage with luxury vehicles, the swing set in the backyard where 8-year-old Landon spent his afternoons. Caleb Hunter stood in his home office adjusting his tie before another day of running his cybersecurity firm. At 39, he had built something impressive from the ground up. His company protected some of Houston's biggest corporations from digital threats, and the financial rewards had afforded his family a comfortable lifestyle that many could only dream of. He believed in hard work, integrity, and the sanctity of family values, principles that had guided every major decision in his adult life. 10 years, he whispered to himself, glancing at the framed wedding photo on his desk. 10 years since he had married Janelle Richardson in what everyone called the wedding of the century. She had been ambitious then, working in marketing for a Fortune 500 company, driven and independent, the woman who had captured his heart with her intelligence and determination. But people change. Or maybe, Caleb would later realize, people reveal who they really are when comfort replaces ambition. Janelle had gradually transitioned from career-focused professional to someone who seemed more interested in the lifestyle Caleb's success provided than contributing to it herself. The woman who once stayed up late discussing business strategies now spent her days at yoga classes, spa appointments, and lunch dates with friends who had never worked a day in their lives. Still, Caleb loved her, or at least he loved the woman he married, and hoped she would find her way back to being that person. He attributed the changes to motherhood, to the natural evolution of priorities that comes with raising a child. He made excuses, as devoted husbands often do, because the alternative was too painful to consider. Their upcoming 10th wedding anniversary felt like a milestone worth celebrating. Caleb had been planning something special, something that would remind them both of why they had fallen in love in the first place. He believed, truly believed, that their marriage was solid, built on a foundation of shared experiences, mutual respect, and unwavering trust. He had no idea that foundation was about to crumble beneath his feet, one innocent question at a time. The truth has a way of surfacing when you least expect it. Sometimes it comes through grand revelations, explosive confrontations, or dramatic discoveries. But for Caleb Hunter, the truth began with something far more mundane. A casual conversation with his neighbor while taking out the trash on a Thursday evening. Mrs. Patterson, the elderly woman next door who had lived in the neighborhood for over 20 years, waved from her garden where she was tending to her prized roses. She was the type of neighbor who noticed everything. Every car that came and went, every visitor, every detail of the suburban rhythm that defined their street. "Evening, Caleb. How's the family?" "Can't complain, Mrs. Patterson, just another busy week." She paused, pruning shears in hand, and gave him that knowing smile that older women perfect over decades of observing life's patterns. "Oh, we thought your brother was staying with you again. He's such a regular now." Caleb's hand froze on the garbage bin lid. The words hit him like ice water in his veins, but he kept his expression neutral, a skill he'd perfected in high-stakes business negotiations. "My brother?" The tall fellow with the athletic build. "Always comes by when you're at work. Such a nice young man. Always waves when he sees us. Caleb's mind raced through possibilities, searching for logical explanations that would make sense of what he'd just heard. A repairman? A contractor? Someone Janelle had hired for house projects? But the word regular echoed in his head like a warning bell. Right, of course. He managed to smile. Well, have a good evening. That night, Caleb lay awake staring at the ceiling while Janelle slept peacefully beside him. Her breathing was steady, undisturbed, innocent. He studied her face in the moonlight filtering through their bedroom curtains, the same face he'd kissed goodnight for nearly a decade, the same face that had promised to love, honor, and cherish him, till death do them part. The next few days passed in a haze of normalcy that felt anything but normal. Caleb went through the motions of his routine: morning coffee, goodbye kiss, day at the office, evening dinner with his family. But underneath the surface, his mind worked like the cybersecurity expert he was, analyzing patterns, looking for vulnerabilities, searching for signs he might have missed. Then came the moment that shattered his carefully maintained composure. Landon bounded into the living room where Caleb was reviewing quarterly reports on his laptop. His son's innocent 8-year-old face was filled with the kind of curiosity that makes children ask the questions adults spend lifetimes avoiding. Daddy, why does Uncle Travis only come when you're gone? And why does he sleep in your bed? The laptop nearly slipped from Caleb's hands. Time stopped. The room seemed to tilt on its axis. Those 18 words contained enough explosive power to destroy everything he thought he knew about his life. But Caleb Hunter didn't build a successful cybersecurity firm by panicking under pressure. He didn't become Houston's go-to expert for corporate protection by making emotional decisions when the stakes were highest. Instead, he looked at his son with calm eyes and made a choice that would change everything. That's interesting, buddy. Can you show me next time? What separates successful men from broken ones isn't the absence of betrayal. It's how they respond when betrayal finds them. Caleb Hunter had spent 15 years protecting corporations from digital threats, anticipating attacks before they happened, building impenetrable defenses against those who would steal what didn't belong to them. Now, for the first time, he would turn those skills on his own life. That night, after Janelle and Landon were asleep, Caleb sat in his home office with the lights dimmed, his fingers moving across the keyboard with surgical precision. He wasn't crying. He wasn't raging. He was planning. Within hours, he had ordered military-grade surveillance equipment, cameras so small they could hide behind picture frames, audio devices that could capture whispers from across a room, motion sensors that would alert his phone the moment someone entered his house. Everything would be delivered to his office, installed by him alone, positioned with the strategic mind of someone who understood that information was power. The next morning brought a performance that would have impressed Hollywood's finest actors. Caleb kissed Janelle goodbye with the same tenderness he'd shown for 10 years, ruffled Landon's hair with genuine affection, and drove to his office as if nothing had changed. But everything had changed. The man leaving for work that morning was no longer a trusting husband. He was a cybersecurity expert conducting the most important investigation of his career. Over the next week, Caleb transformed his home into a surveillance fortress. Cameras appeared in strategic locations during his lunch breaks, hidden behind family photos and decorative objects that had witnessed years of what he'd believed was marital bliss. Each device was connected to a secure network that fed directly to his phone and laptop, creating a digital web that would capture every movement, every conversation, every betrayal. Meanwhile, Janelle remained blissfully unaware. She continued her routine of yoga classes and spa appointments, answered his texts with heart emojis, and played the role of devoted wife with an Oscar-worthy performance that made Caleb's stomach turn. The woman who had once been his partner in building dreams had become a stranger wearing his wife's face. Then came the test that would confirm his worst fears. Caleb announced he needed to take a 3-day business trip to Dallas, a cybersecurity conference that would require his full attention. He watched Janelle's reaction carefully as he delivered the news over dinner. Her eyes lit up just slightly, a flash of excitement she tried to hide behind concerned disappointment. 3 whole days? That's unusual for you. Big client presentation could mean a major contract for the firm. She nodded sympathetically, playing her part perfectly. But Caleb caught something else. The way her fingers moved to her phone, the subtle smile she couldn't quite suppress, the nervous energy that suggested plans were already forming in her mind. That night, he packed his suitcase with theatrical precision, making sure Janelle saw every detail of his preparation. He booked a hotel room in Dallas, confirmed his alibi with phone calls she could overhear, and set the stage for the most elaborate trap of his professional life. But instead of driving to Dallas, Caleb checked into an Airbnb 15 minutes from his own home. Technology never lies. Corporate executives can spin numbers, politicians can twist facts, and unfaithful spouses can perfect their deception. But digital evidence reveals truth with brutal clarity. From his temporary command center at the Airbnb, Caleb Hunter was about to learn that sometimes the truth is worse than your darkest suspicions. The first notification arrived at 2:47 p.m., 6 hours after his supposed departure to Dallas. Motion detected at front entrance. Caleb's phone screen illuminated with crystal-clear footage of a tall, athletic man using a key to enter his home. Not picking the lock, not breaking in. Using a key like he belonged there. Travis Monroe. Even through the security camera, Caleb could see the confidence in the man's stride, the familiarity with which he navigated the hallway, the casual way he called out a greeting that was answered with feminine laughter from upstairs. The audio feed captured what Caleb's marriage had become. Janelle's voice, bright and excited. "Finally, I thought you'd never get here." The sound of footsteps rushing downstairs, then silence broken by something that made Caleb's hands clench into fists. The unmistakable sound of his wife kissing another man in the foyer, where family photos lined the walls. But the surveillance revealed something even more devastating than adultery. It revealed systematic deception that had turned his 8-year-old son into an unwitting accomplice. Landon appeared in the camera frame, running toward the man with the enthusiasm children reserve for favorite relatives. Travis lifted him effortlessly, spinning him around while Janelle watched with the kind of smile Caleb hadn't seen on her face in months. "Uncle Travis, Mom said you were coming to help while Daddy's away." The lie was delivered so smoothly, so naturally, that Caleb realized this wasn't a new arrangement. This was a practiced routine, a cover story refined through repetition. His son had been living in a manufactured reality, where his mother's lover was presented as family. Over the next 48 hours, Caleb's hidden cameras captured a domestic scene that was simultaneously intimate and horrifying. Travis wore Caleb's bathrobe while drinking coffee from Caleb's favorite mug. He helped Landon with homework at Caleb's dining room table. He slept in Caleb's bed beside Caleb's wife, their conversations revealing plans that extended far beyond a simple affair. The most damaging footage came from the master bedroom, where pillow talk revealed the depth of their betrayal. "He's so trusting," Janelle laughed, her head resting on Travis's chest. "Caleb never questions anything. Sometimes I wonder if he'd notice if I moved you in permanently." "Soon enough," Travis replied. "Once he signs those life insurance policy updates you mentioned, we won't have to worry about his trust fund or that prenup." The words hit Caleb like physical blows. This wasn't just adultery, it was conspiracy. They weren't just stealing his marriage, they were planning to steal his life. But Travis Monroe had made one critical error. He had conspired against a man whose entire career was built on anticipating, documenting, and neutralizing threats. And Caleb Hunter was about to show them both what happened when someone tried to hack the wrong target. Revenge is a dish best served with ironclad legal documentation. While Travis and Janelle played house in his home, Caleb Hunter was constructing their destruction with the methodical precision that had made him Houston's most trusted cybersecurity expert. The surveillance footage was automatically backed up to 3 separate encrypted servers, locations Travis and Janelle would never think to look, protected by security protocols that would make government agencies jealous. But Caleb needed more than adultery evidence. He needed ammunition that would obliterate any chance of them walking away with his assets, his son, or his life. The first thing he did was a DNA test. 8 years of fatherhood suddenly felt uncertain when conspiracy and deception poisoned every memory. Caleb collected samples during a routine father-son breakfast, sending them to a private laboratory that guaranteed 48-hour results. The waiting felt eternal, but when the confirmation arrived, relief flooded through him. Landon was his biological son. At least that truth remained intact. Next came financial forensics. Caleb discovered unauthorized charges on their joint credit card, expensive dinners at restaurants he'd never been to, hotel rooms booked during his business trips, purchases from men's clothing stores. Travis hadn't just been using his house. He'd been financing their affair with Caleb's money. The prenuptial agreement became his nuclear weapon. 10 years earlier, Janelle had signed the document eagerly, confident in their love and her own financial independence. The infidelity clause was explicit. Proven adultery would result in complete forfeiture of marital assets, spousal support, and primary custody rights. What had seemed like a romantic formality was now worth millions. But Caleb's most devastating discovery came through background checks that revealed Travis Monroe's true nature. The man wasn't just a gym trainer having an affair. He was a professional predator. 3 previous relationships with married women, all wealthy, all ended when the women discovered his other targets. Caleb documented everything: screenshots, financial records, surveillance footage, background reports, DNA confirmations. Every piece of evidence was cataloged, dated, and legally verified. He hired Houston's most ruthless divorce attorney, a woman whose reputation for protecting men's assets had made her legendary in Texas family court. During this time, Caleb's performance at home reached Academy Award levels. He returned from his fake Dallas trip bearing gifts: flowers for Janelle, a new toy for Landon, stories about successful business meetings that would secure their financial future. Janelle accepted his affection with practiced ease, never suspecting that each kiss was documented, each lie recorded, each betrayal building toward her complete destruction. The trap was set. The evidence was bulletproof. The legal strategy was flawless. All that remained was choosing the perfect moment to detonate their world. And Caleb Hunter knew exactly when that would be. Justice has a sense of irony that even Hollywood couldn't script better. 2 weeks before the anniversary celebration that would destroy her life, Janelle Hunter discovered she was pregnant. The pregnancy test showed positive results that filled her with dangerous confidence. She believed this would be her golden ticket to financial security, her leverage to leave Caleb for Travis, her guarantee of a future built on deception. She was wrong about everything. Travis Monroe received the pregnancy news through a text message accompanied by ultrasound photos and dreams of their life together. His response was swift and brutal. He blocked her number, deleted his social media accounts, and vanished from Houston like smoke in the wind. The professional predator had found his next target and had no use for complicated pregnancies or emotional entanglements. Janelle spent 3 days calling a disconnected number, visiting a gym where Travis no longer worked, and slowly realizing that the man she'd betrayed her marriage for had never intended to stay. But she had no time to process this abandonment. The anniversary celebration was approaching, and she had to play the loving wife one final time. The evening of their 10th anniversary arrived with perfect weather and devastating precision. Caleb had spared no expense. Their backyard was transformed with elegant lighting, catered cuisine, and decorations that celebrated a decade of what everyone believed had been marital bliss. Family members traveled from across Texas. Friends filled the space with laughter and congratulations, and Janelle basked in the attention while wearing the dress Caleb had thoughtfully purchased for the occasion. She had no idea it would be her funeral shroud. The speeches began as planned. Janelle's father praised Caleb's dedication to family. Friends shared memories of the couple's early years. Children played while adults toasted to love, commitment, and the power of marriage to withstand life's challenges. Then Caleb stepped forward with a champagne glass and a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Marriage is built on love, trust, and honesty. But what happens when those things vanish? Tonight, I want to honor what we built and reveal what tore it apart. The living room's large-screen television flickered to life, displaying a date stamp from 2 weeks earlier. The first image showed Travis entering their home with a key. The second showed Janelle welcoming him with a passionate kiss. The third captured their son being told that Uncle Travis was just helping while Daddy was away. Silence crashed over the celebration like a tidal wave. Janelle's face drained of color as her father stood and walked toward the exit without a word. Her friends looked away in shame and horror. The fairy tale anniversary had become a public execution. Caleb's voice remained steady as he delivered the final blow. "You're free now, Janelle, but not free with my home, my son, or my name. The prenup is ironclad. You leave with nothing." He placed divorce papers and custody documents on the table where their anniversary cake had been moments before. And by the way, the joint account, already closed. The story continues. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting and true-to-life stories.